What's up, everybody? Damon Hatfield here with my good friend Sam Claiborne.
Damon.
And we're taking a look at the trailer for what is sure to be the Best Picture winner at next year's Oscars. This is Pixels, movie coming out this summer from Adam Sandler, and it's a game where a movie where aliens send video game characters to Earth to kill us.
Yeah, not unlike the episode of Futurama, Raiders of the Lost Arcade. This is about space invaders from the 80s actually coming down and killing people. We are going to be rewinding this to show you guys all the game references we saw in this trailer.
Yeah.
And there's more than you might think. There's some neat stuff, and keep in mind, though, that it all should be from before 1982.
This is an important detail here. We apparently sent this time capsule into space in 1982, so none of these games that we see should have come out after 1982.
No Dragon Slayer.
Nope.
No Donkey Kong 3.
No Super Mario Brothers.
Or Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Just Jumpman. So yeah, the premise is that somebody saw this message in space and is attacking us based on what we sent them.
Misinterpreted it.
That they're going to say.
I
think there's Rubik's cubes in this movie too.
We sent a Rubik's cube. We sent Pac-Man.
Let me just point out something about this. First of all, in both of these sequences, first of all, they're emulated. They're not off-screen from an arcade game.
Yeah.
But that score is really high for Pac-Man. I mean, people out there probably have gotten that score because it's not unattainably high. It's just a really high score. I've never gotten that high of a score in Pac-Man, and I own a Pac-Man machine.
At this, do you own a Donkey Kong machine?
Yes, I do. I also have a Donkey Kong machine. And level 22.
Level 22?
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's really, how high can you get?
How high can you get, indeed?
Yeah, the aliens, whoever got this message, misinterpreted it, thought it was a declaration of war, and now, several years later, they've come back.
Yeah, that first shot, now, do you think that's the same? These are all Galaga ships that are landing? Because we're about to see a bunch of Galaga ships.
Yeah, and so it looks like they're making contact in Washington, D.C., and the first big money shot is this Galaga ship. This is the one that will capture your ship.
Yeah, this is the one that's in the final, the upmost row in Galaga. And what you want to do is you want to hit him once at the most, but really you just want to leave him there. So he comes down and sends his little beam. Now here, this Galaga ship is spreading a lot of other things. I don't think they're all Galaxians and Galaga things.
Oh, so they're all coming down. I thought maybe it was sucking things up, but yeah, they are coming down. I see.
But hey, check this out. If you rewind it, if you can go back and forth in that, they're actually, and you have to see this on a pretty big television to check this out, but they're actually flying in formations that you can see. So you can see right next to the Washington monument there.
Yeah.
They're going in
That's pretty good.
Yeah, in little patterns like in Galaga.
That's what they do in Galaga.
Yeah.
We get
on the bonus stage, and when they come in the first time.
What do you think these are?
I think these are probably Galaxians also. I see the little red things on their sides that are the wings that they use, and then the blue and yellow ones. So just from the color schemes, I think that's what it is. I mean, that's a weird view, but we don't really know what Galaxians look like from the back anyway, right?
Apparently what they do is just cause things to disintegrate. Like, that's what they're
into pixels.
Here to do, yeah.
That's the titular line from Pixels. They've been turned into pixels.
As we see later in the trailer, these are their answer to dealing with Pac-Man. These are the ghosts. As you can see, Blinky,
Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and of course the orange ghost, Clyde.
I'm not what you would call a car enthusiast, but I think these are Fiats. Is that right?
Good work, Damon.
And in the distance, we can see
Pac-Man's
shadow being projected up on the building back there. People are running away as if it were Godzilla menacing the city. Yeah.
So
you can see the fireman fly out here. That's pretty good
because he doesn't get hurt.
No.
They only turn things into pixels that are not people, apparently, until we see at the end of the trailer that becomes not true. All right, so there's a lot of characters going on here. Starting at the bottom.
Cubert.
You got Cubert hopping around.
Yep.
In the upper left there, the thing flapping, actually you can see it has a little jousting pole. Keep going forward.
There's a guy riding the
birds, the ostriches from Joust, which don't look too much like ostriches. But again, I think they're going with the style of Pixels. The bug there, that's from Galaga 2, and there's other Galaga things going on here as well.
Galaga as well.
Yeah. If you actually rewind back there.
What do we see here?
Let's just go back to the guy screaming. You can see on their outfits,
Yeah.
they have Qbert mazes there, and on the other side, we're going to see the other patches later. That really looks like a OneUp.com logo, which I thought was strange.
Very, very similar to the OneUp.com.
Yeah, an
logo.
IGN property, and one of the best gaming sites that ever existed.
I wonder why they have the Qbert level on their uniforms.
Yeah. Okay, so here you can see more of the Galaga
and Joust.
The more of the Space Invaders characters in the upper left.
Oh,
Those are straight up Space Invaders from the game Space Invaders by Taito. That's 1978, so we're all good. And then, yes, you see the Jousters. See, there's a Jouster. The two colors of Jousters in Joust are orange and yellow, and they're both in this.
But then immediately to the right...
You know what? I think one of them's green in Joust, so these are just multicolored ones.
Immediately to the right of the Washington Monument is this dragonfly-looking
Yeah, that was in the last one, too.
Isn't that on... like Galaxian or Galaga, one of those games?
Yeah.
Like, at least on the arcade cabinet, that's what they look like.
That's the interesting thing, is that it's looks like the side art of Galaga and around the control panel.
And here we get what is definitely one of the best delivered lines in all of cinema, I think.
Oh boy.
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong.
We can see a lot of the stuff on them. If you rewind it here, we can see more of the patches here, which we were talking about earlier. One of them says Arcader.
Yeah.
Is that what it says?
That's like what their team...
There's an oil barrel
they're calling
there,
themselves.
too. That's kind of cool.
You see Arcader, and Arcader is a term that was used by Popular Mechanics in an issue in 1983 to refer to people who played arcade games.
Yeah,
they were called arcaders.
And we can tell this clearly takes place in a country that doesn't like the United States very much, because this flag is backwards.
Yeah, that's really weird.
I don't know what's going on with that.
And
then there's a logo above the flag too, which is probably tied to the movie, and one below it that kind of looks like a Rubik's Cube, but it's something else. So clearly these patches have something to do with things that we don't quite understand yet. If you scroll forward just a little bit, that oil barrel.
Yeah. Legit.
From Donkey Kong.
Yeah. Here we got a Centipede.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Centipede is
coming down out of the sky there.
Yeah, it's a 1980 Atari game, and it's kind of interesting. They are showing it changed through its color palette, which is my favorite part about Centipede. I always love the various colors that it goes through. But it starts with the first level, green and red.
They've developed some type of gun to fight back against the video game characters here.
Yeah,
it's got kind of a Ghostbusters vibe. It's
and
pretty intense.
When you destroy a segment of a centipede, you run the risk of having the front segment become a moving mouth again, and that's what's going on here. Is that the remaining centipedes are all evil mouths.
The only way to take down Pac-Man.
All right.
But yeah, one of the co-stars here is on the left there. That's Michelle Monaghan. Our audience probably knows her best from True Detective.
Mm-hmm.
Pac-Man is with ghosts.
You want ghosts?
Yeah, the ghosts.
This is explaining the ghosts.
Don't know how they work.
Earlier.
Obviously, Peter Dinklage.
Yeah. And Blinky.
Now these guys.
This is an interesting conundrum for us, Damon.
See,
you brought it up as saying these are clearly from Breakout, which is a 1975 or 1976 game from Atari, made by Steve Jobs actually, partially, and but that game would be accurate for this movie's timeline, but most people recognize this from Arkanoid.
Yeah,
which would make these
especially since they're firing lasers and they look more like the Arkanoid paddle. But Arkanoid didn't come out until 1986.
Yeah.
So if this movie is trying to be accurate, that would be a mistake.
It'd have to be Breakout.
Yeah.
We're the only ones who can do this.
So there's a scene there of definitely the Galaxians coming out Galaga enemies coming out in their patterns. So,
the creator of Pac-Man.
This is an actor.
Yeah, this is not the actual Iwatani.
Yeah, which we were confused. Well, not confused by, but it was kind of surprising when they're using his name and a little bit of his likeness. Yeah. I think you were at this at GDC. Toru Iwatani, Professor Iwatani, who made Pac-Man, gave a speech a couple years ago that we all went to, and I got his business card. And he's like a totally nice guy, and he doesn't really look exactly like this, but this guy's playing a real person in real life who actually created Pac-Man, which is interesting.
What are you doing?
I will talk to him. He's my son. Hello, my sweet little boy.
Oh, but this actor is in the most recent
Resident
Evil Revelations. I thought the game.
Oh yeah, and also has been a voice actor in Deus Ex also.
Yeah.
So
there you have it.
Video games.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Pixels comes out this summer. Who knows how this will turn out? But at least it's interesting that Hollywood will make a movie like this.
Well, yeah,
today.
and like it's coming after a Wreck-It Ralph, right?
Yeah, that's
so clearly, 80s arcade games are things that are ever present in people's minds that are probably our age and a little bit older.
That's true.
But I'm glad they're all being reintroduced because obviously these are great games. And if you ever find an old arcade game in your neighborhood and you see it's Miss Pac-Man or Centipede or Galaga, I advise you to put in a quarter and check it out because that's part of history, and there's very few of them left these days.
For more on Pixels, stay tuned, IGN.